Is this Friday?
Yeah!
I'm so mixed up because of the holiday weekend we had last weekend. Hey, everybody. I know it's Friday, and I know it's noon because Big D just waved. And guess what? It's Festool Live, episode 142. You know, I can, Minnie. You're gonna love this one, man. Okay, I'm gonna introduce the room. Over here, I have Big D.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. Over here behind the camera, I have Chris. And he's known as the unit, Cyber. Woo, doggy, Mr. Smoker, man.
That's right.
He has been smoking ribs, baby. On the board, right over here, we have the wonderful Minnie Gleb.
Thank you. You're so good to me.
Okay, and then on the line, we have Brent Shively, star of the Festool Build Series. And he's got a new one coming out, I think, fairly soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay tuned. It looks like it's a winner chicken dinner. Also on YouTube, you're going to find Inside Festool. We are bringing back very, very soon Festool Shop Talk. We had a little time off on it, but we're signing everybody up for some great episodes the rest of the year. Also, you're watching on YouTube, but this could also be live on Facebook. And also, we have an Instagram account. So please, 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 go sign up for all of them. It keeps us employed.
TikTok, too.
Oh, and don't forget, we're on the TikTok, baby. Right. Hey, that's kind of like the Googles and the AOL. I just finished. I'm not up to speed on all the social media. I just finished my MySpace page. Is that right? Remember that? Remember?
I'm surprised how that is.
Oh, Chris, I'm not that old, dude. Okay. So, these are... You're laughing at me, dude. Be chillin', dude. Okay. Hey, you see how I said chillin'? Okay. I got to tell you, when people were asking this week, hey, what's Festool Live about? I said, it's about the new Systainers with the lids. We call them addicts. And ATTICS. And the new Bit Cassettes. And a few people went and rolled their eyes. And these are my favorite. Because guess what? I learn a lot when I do this. And also, I could show you a whole heck of a lot more stuff in the Festool system. So, as I go through this, I'll talk about some Generation 3, I'll talk about some Central Tech, but there's a lot more to these Bit Cassettes and addicts than you don't understand. And it's also about the history of innovation of Festool. Okay, so if you need a deep dive, I mentioned Central Tech, that was episode 103. But the thing that blows me away is when I went to go research Generation 3 Systainers, which these are the new Generation 3s. And when I say new, do you know what episode that was? Minnie, do you know? I have it written down here. Big D, don't say anything.
I'm not peeking. I don't know.
Minnie, Generation 3 came out in 2020, I think.
Oh, my.
And it was episode 37.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I kept scrolling through. So, boy, we've come a long way on this. So, the addicts, ATTICS, are basically the clear lids that open up, and they come with all these pieces and parts to dissect them up, so for storage. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, okay? Because this is not our first go-around with these. In the original T-Lock, we had addicts, okay? And I'll never forget this because I pulled it out of the wall. I actually had one still. It was up in the wall earlier this week, and it's the clear lid, but you'll see it's not as clear, it's translucent. Is that the right word? Okay, or it's diffused plastic. Is that even better? Wow. It's not really clear. The new ones are wicked clear, okay? Both of them have emblazoned on the top the world's best power tool company. Minnie, what is that?
Festool.
Yeah, baby. Okay. Now, I have one of these at home. But, like I said, this is not my first go-around. So, Chris, you're going to like this. I was gifted a drill back in 2012. Okay? And when I got it, I'm going to break it out. Check it out, baby. It was my Pro Tool PDC, and it had an addict in it. Okay? And here's my drill. and everybody may recognize this. Look, see it? It's the PDC, the original hammer drill we brought here. We released it in Europe under the brand Pro Tool. That used to be one of our brands. And what we did is we fused it into Festool. We had a big thing where we brought it all into the Festool lineup. And you'll see they're identical. In fact, they all have the fast fix, and I could still take the Central Tech and put it on there like that. See that? So it went from Pro Tool to Festool. All right, this is our quad drive system. But then last year we came up with this. We bettered it. We're not going to sit back and say, hey, we got the world's best cordless hammer drill out there, 18 volt. We bettered it with the switches and less confusion, even a better handle. So we're always going to innovate. How's that for innovation, Minnie? Not so bad, huh? Told you I'd mix it up a little. Okay. Oh, and I had to look at the year I got this. It was 2012. So still runs, still a champ. Batteries are still kicking. And yes, the attic is the same on the T-Log. So Chris, I think that answered your question earlier. Sedge, how long has the attic been out? So now, I'm going to go through this, but I'll go through it a little bit better on that one. So it'll look Festool, not Pro Tool. But you open up the attic like this, and you have all this storage in top. And yes, the original Bit Cassettes, we had those as well. But when you close it, you have to lock it. Aha! For me, that's the first thing I looked at on the new attics. I go, please tell me they're auto lock, because what would happen is on the old T-Lock Systainer, the attic, see how it says unlock right here? You open it up like that and you put all your storage in there. Okay, but what would happen is I would just go like this. Okay, and then I would go to the job site and this would tilt. Guess what you're doing later, Chris? It's okay, I have a magnet for you. All right, where the new one, to compare apples to apples, I'm gonna just take these pieces and parts right here. And this is beautiful. We knew there was a situation where people forgot to lock it, because I always would forget to lock it, and lo and behold, I would have a mess on the floor. Look, see how that auto locks just like that? You push it down and it's locked in. So everything will stay secure in there. Next part is this. To divvy it up, these were the pieces that went in to divvy it up. You could configure it to your needs, and they would slide right in like this. Okay, and I would always say take that notch and make sure it's facing forward, not down. That way there, the whole bottom is sealed off, and you can configure it like that. But what if you needed something bigger? These were stationary. Okay, so I'm gonna put this over here for now. I'll flip-flop it back. Where the new Generation 3 version, as I open this up, Big D, can you see down in here? It's completely open. So if I just wanted to put like a map or a book in there, I could put that in and lock it in and have it on the job site while I'm taking a break. But all the pieces and parts that come with are a little bit different as I drop some on the floor. Hopefully we can all see this. The difference between these, which won't work in the new system, and vice versa, it's a completely redesigned, is these the little dovetails. See them? And they have pins in here. So what you need to do, depending on how you want to configure it, you take these, okay, and I always put that down like this, and I can slide it in like this, because you see how these, right here, these little points, will register in these little clips down here. So that's how you know it goes down and locks in, and there's your dividers. Follow? Good. Chris, I always go by Chris because he always follows really well. He gives me a little bit of a nod. And then you could take these dividers like this, look, and slide them in and divvy it up. It's a better locking system. Now, what if I need something to store in here that's longer than this? I could actually use it this way. And this is the other piece. You get 3 different types of pieces. You got one of these, you got one of these, and then you have this. And this is one that kind of people look at and go, how do you use this? So there's little dovetails right here. I can slide it in, make sure the point is down. All right, and you take this one like this, you slide it in, and now you have a divider this way, crosswise, and it locks in that little pin. So if I have like some of these larger screws like this, I need to store like this, I can do it just like this. Okay, pretty simple. And once again, when I snap it down, no shifting, and nothing falls out. What a heck of a system. So there you go. The addicts are available in the Generation 3 137. And if you forget and you've turned this over and you lose that card, it says it right here. That's the height of the Systainer Generation 3. It also comes in a 187 and a 237. So if you want to do a switch out, you can buy an empty Systainer with an attic, and look, this is the same height. I could actually take my TID18, take everything out of it, and you see the insert? I could take it and switch it out, and now I can put my impact driver in there, and now I can do all the storage in here, and it comes with a pack to trick it out, just like that. Follow? Whew, boy. Whew, this is a daunting subject. I'm just kidding. Okay, I think I covered everything with the addicts. I think you got, once again, you get a clearer view, and it's an auto lock, and you can divvy it up a little bit better. You can go this way with it, not just this way. And these little, oopsie, wrong ones. These little ones go in like this to even further divvy it up. Do you know divvy means, Minnie?
I do.
Divide. Okay, I'm just checking because as I'm saying divvy up, I'm like, I hope everybody understands my French. All right, good. And look, you got plenty of pieces in there for the addicts. Alrighty then. Next, I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to go to the old style Bit Cassettes. Let me bring this back over. And I'm trying to do this so you guys can see it. I'm going to open it up. Big D, you can see that, right? This is the old Bit Cassette. These four here are the new ones. I'm just going to grab one of these that compares apples to apples. And you'll see it where this is the old style. These came up. These are your 50 millimeter or 2-inch ones. They are Centrotech. All right, and these were the older style. We had different cassettes, and the way they worked is you would take this lid off, which I will right now. I always break it out like this, watch. Well, you made a mess here, Chris. To take the cassette lid off, whoopsie, I want to first depress this and lift it. And what I do is I just take this end. This is my paint lifter on and I just take that off just like that. There's just a little pin I'll show you in a minute as I struggle with this, which I practiced this morning. I popped them off pretty quick. I don't want to break it because I could always switch them out just like this. Wow, I had this down to a science. I want to show you the lid. It has these little posts right here. You just pry it a little. So here's the difference. You see this little tab right here? You have to slide it in like this, and it locked in. So I could go to the job site and have these like this, okay, and then store my screws in here, old style. And we had 2 or 3 different ones. Once again, I wanted to make sure I called this out. The new ones will not fit in the old attic. Say you got an old PDC out there, it won't work. It won't clip in, nor will the old ones. Let me see if I can get this. I can pry that out. Wow, there it is. See, this won't fit in there. It won't lock in. So the old ones will not go in the Bit Cassettes if you have some of those. Good? Okay. I think I covered that, old versus new. Now, really neat, and I did not know this. Maybe I should have read the online catalog. But what's nice about this is, and I want to point this out, these don't tilt out, but they don't fall out either. And there's a reason. There's little magnets in there. It's a magnetic strip, so when I put this in, look how it locks right in. And you don't dump these all over the place, see? We have different bit cassettes. This one, I'll call out, has a PZ, which is posi drive, 1 and 2, Phillips 1, 2, and 3, and a square drive 1, square drive 2, a T15 through T40. Okay, so it's pretty cool. And these are all in a 50 millimeter. And look how it just snaps in like this. Look, goes in like this and snaps right in. So that's the first bit cassette. You know, I mentioned something earlier. Another bit cassette is this one. I'm going to open it up. And in this one, you have the shorty 50 millimeter, 3, 4, 5, oh my God, 3, 4, 2 5s, a 6, and an 8. And those are shorty brad point bits. And you can see they're still magnetized. And you'll see that point there and the lip, the spur points on there. These are really clean hole, and those will get you in a really tight spot with your Central Tech system. And on this bit cassette, you have a Phillips 1, 2, 3, posi 1 and 2, square drive 1 and 2, and T315 through 40. That's your second bit cassette. You have these, and boy, I love these too because I use these all the time. These are your 100 millimeter or 4-inch. But you get your Phillips 1, 2, 3, and square drive 1, 2, and 2 2s. Actually, 2 2s. Does that sound right? 2 2s? You have 2 2s. 2 square drives, 2 2s. Right? And I'm going to pull this out because I want to talk about this momentarily. On the fourth bit cassette, look at all those 1-inch tips. You have Phillips 1. Wow, 2 Phillips 1s, 2 Phillips 2s, and 2 Phillips 3s, all with that magnetic position on the bottom. PZ 1s, 2s, both 2 of each, 2 square 1s, 2 square drive 2s, T15, T20, 25, 30, and 40, all 1-inch bit tips. So those fit in any magnetic, not just Festool, any magnetic drive. Okay, so there you go. I just wanted to point that out because that's all 1/4 inch across the flat. I'm going to put this in so I don't lose it. Where did I grab that from? Somewhere. I'll just leave it there. Oh, no, right here. Look. Put it right back. That way there. I can sell that later to Big D. All right, so next. You like that, right? I know you would. Okay. The other thing I'm going to mention today is this, and this is where on episode 103, we did a deep dive on Central Tech. I can never not talk about it because it's just a great system. This is the Central Tech, and you're going to notice this is elongated here. All right. It's a little rounded right in here. These points on the hex, I got a little off, but it's still 1/4 inch across the flat. And what happens is I'm going to take this off just like this. And when this seats in here through the Central Tech, it seats into the fast fix stub. So that way there, it's a, how do you say, less run out, a more positive drive, less bit slippage. It isn't a drill truck that could rotate open. It's just a better system. Always has been, but on the impact driver that we came out with, we know everybody has the little stubbies. That's the difference between Central Tech. I'll bring this out. Central Tech and that. Okay, see the extra? That way there it fits into this fast fix stub. But we came out because we didn't want to fight it because everybody who has impacts has those, a bunch of those drivers. But once again, this is a great this here is a great accessory because once I put that bit tip in there, it doesn't come out whatsoever. It locks in. So that's something else on our website you might want to check out. Now, I mentioned Central Tech versus the regular 1/4 power drive, but I also want to point out that I mentioned this several times, and all the drills I pulled out today, that's the fast fix stub. And what goes on the fast fix stub is your right angle chuck, your eccentric chuck. Those have gone, this one has gone through 3 phases, this one a couple of phases. We made it better. We have 1/2-inch chucks, we got 3/8 chucks, we got depth setting chucks, we got fancy silver chucks, we got 3/8 hex drive for sockets. The list keeps going on. We have drywall chucks for all of the fast fix. So it's an overall system that just adds up. I'm excited because we came out with the attics again. We made them better. We made them more versatile. And I know for a fact we're not just going to stop with the 4 cassettes. We're going to keep going and adding different ones with the Central Tech system. So I just wanted to point that out. And hopefully that cleared up a lot of questions we've been getting about what's so fancy about the new attics. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. I'm just going to do this because I don't want to. Oh, I want to say what could be a fun tip for everybody. So everybody knows that, or you should know, I always call it up, that a 5mm hex adjusts a lot of things on the Festool system, whether it's the parallel guides or changing the blade on one of the track saws. It's all a 5mm hex. Or, check this out, adjusting the up and down on your MFT or locking the rail. It's all 5mm, right? But I learned this years ago from Alan. I was looking for a 5mm hex and I couldn't find one. And he goes, dude, just use a 30mm. And there's just a little bit of play, but when you're in a pinch, a 30mm Torx will work in a 5mm. I was struggling to get one and he just pulled out that 30mm Torx and it worked. Woo! Okay, so another fun fact from Festool Live. I think I covered everything. So Chris, 20 minutes to answer your question earlier today. He always asks, how long is Festool Live going to be? Let me just look around really quick. Yep, I think I covered everything. Oh, I wanted to mention later this year, you're going to start seeing it. Some of our drill systems will be coming out with the Systainer, with the new attic lid, but that's later this year. Some of them will phase in. Just wanted to mention that to you. We just think it's a great system to store all your bit tips and Central Tech tips. And don't forget about the Bit Cassettes because they're out there. Those have been released, Big D, right?
Yes, they're on the website.
They're on our website. Go check them out. Okay, everybody. I am going to get going because I know Minnie's got this one with 2, and she's on this one now. So hopefully I enlightened everybody about the attics. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I got one date on here because everybody says, Sedge, what are you going to call this episode? Okay. Minnie, were you in the room when I was quizzing Big D? Look at that date right here. Look at this. April 8th, 1975.
Man, I was only really young then.
Okay, so there was an album. I was going to call this episode Toys in the Attic. Aha! Think about this. Think about this. Toys in the Attic was released on April 8th in 1975. So look, the Bit Cassettes are the toys in the attic. Okay, Aerosmith, baby. Guess what was on that album? Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, and the one that's about crying. What's it called, Big D? I got it written right here. You See Me Crying. I'm going to tell you what, that was, I wasn't born yet, but easy, easy, easy. I was 12. And I remember the release of that album. Thank you, Aerosmith. Another great band from Boston. All right. I am going to start with the names. I got Jason and Yana from Granite Falls, Washington. I got Rick from sunny Blackpool, UK. Mac from Woodcraft in Springfield, Virginia. Jason from Fenton, Michigan. Dale from Swaddling-Cote, England. Chris from Minneapolis. Is that a country?
No.
Okay. Pete Petri from Jolarvi, Finland. Des from Harrogate, England. Joey from Texas. Mike M., we love you, from Austin, Texas. Yazoo from Paramaribo, Suriname. Joe, our buddy Joe from Akron, Ohio. Chris from Malta. I want to go to Malta, Minnie. I want to do a Festool Live from Malta.
I know too.
Norman from Los Angeles. Leo from Holland. Michael from Edmonton, Alberta. Soren from Denmark. Dana, we hope you feel better, from Yalcolt, Washington. Tom and Kelly, you're always with us. Thank you. From Eatonton, Georgia. Dan from Whitestone, New York. Keith from Bozeman, Montana. right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
MO's Missouri, man.
Oops.
But I know, I don't think there's a Bozeman, Missouri. See how I say that?
Missouri?
Missouri. Yeah,
You're not
okay.
Missouri.
Joe from Waseca, Illinois. Rob from South Devon, England. Quinello from London, England. Dave, and it's her, it's Gwen. How you doing, Gwen? From West Virginia. Julian from Lausanne, Switzerland. Oliver, nice meeting you this year. Woo! From Southern California. Mark from Anaheim. Matt from Newark, Ohio. Paul from Berkshire, UK. Mark from Krimpen-Anderlecht, Netherlands. Brent from Louisville. Joseph from Bellevue, Nebraska. Hans and Franz. No, what's that, man? Man, that's not Hans and Franz from Mass. What is that? T-Fraz?
Oh, T-Press
T-Fraz.
from Massachusetts.
From Massachusetts. How you doing, T-Fraz? It looked like Hans and Franz. That's how my brain works. I'm here to pump you up. Spark Trisha, that's you, Willie. Robert from, hey, there it is. Delaware. All right, Dave from Denver, Colorado. Jacob from Rhode Island. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Dan from Kingman, Arizona. How you doing, Dan? Jerry G from Sugar Grove, Illinois. How you doing, Jerry? Ruben from Centurion, South Africa. Another Soren from Bilbo, Denmark. I thought that was going to say Bilbo Baggins. Blake from Blake Weber, Novato, California. Oh, my God. We have Russ from Chichester, Steve from Bellevue, Nebraska, Tim from Lakeville, Massachusetts, Chuck from West Virginia, Michael from Oahu, Daniel from Barrettville, Switzerland, David from Southwest France, the Warp Woodsman from Oregon. How you doing, Johnson? Luis from Round Hill, Virginia. I used to go to Square Hill.
I believe.
Okay, good. So Craig and Tyler from Brandy, Virginia. Oh, no, Craig, Tyler, and Brandy from Virginia. How you guys doing? Roll from Wolvega. David from Israel. B Double Dizzle from Benton, Arkansas. That's B Double Dizzle. Dragan from Novi Sad, Serbia. This is so cool. Vin, hey, it's Vin from Saddle River, New Jersey. Keith from Oak Park, Illinois. Chuck Wood from Bella Vista, Arkansas. We got a lot of people from Arkansas.
Yeah. Kenneth from Oak Park, Illinois is here too.
Gary is here. Tweedle, Applause, Tanty, Bewitch, North Wales. Did I get that right?
I think so.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
And we have Sylvester from Durham. John from Louisville, Kentucky. Brent from Greenwood, Indiana. That's awesome. That's awesome. Adrian from County Cork Island. Have you guys been to County Cork?
You have.
The Kingdom.
You did not take us.
It's awesome. Okay, we have Robbie Wankanobi. Robbie Wankanobi from Corinth, Texas. Chris from Virgins, Vermont. Oliver from French Alps. Mike E. from Mercedes, California. Mr. Mercedes. Oh, thank you, Mercedes.
Hey, Mike.
Thanks, Mike, from Mercedes. That's what we call a phonetic spelling. We have Florida Floyd. Woo, I love that. We have Chris from Antwerp, Belgium. We have Dick from Katy, Texas. Monty from Canton, Kentucky. Connecticut.
That's not even close to.
Matt. We have Matt from Illinois. We have Apo, Finland. We have Mikhail from Iowa City, Iowa. Go figure. Stephen from Buckeye, Arizona. Arno from Calgary. Is that Calgary?
No.
Cagliari. Arno from Cagliari. Sergey from Aston, Kazakhstan. That's new.
That is new.
We have somebody from Kazakhstan. How are you, Sergey? Woo! I say Sergey, you say Sergey. So what? John from Pleasantville, New York. Peasleville, New York, you guys. Oh, this one I know. This is the mayor of Union, Maine. His name is Adam. We have Richard and George the Snoring Bulldog. That's so cool. UK. We have Warren from Batavia, Ohio. You're always there with us, Warren. Thank you. Thank you. Richard from Pumpenville, Australia. You always stay up late for us. Thank you very much, Brian. No way. Mr. Pugh, how are you? David, I'm glad you're watching. We were just thinking about you the other day. How you been, buddy? Kurt from Rochester, Michigan. This is nice. Sandras from Oskarshamn, Sweden. Yeah, you gotta say Sweden. Sweden. Okay. Everybody, guess what it is? It's July. It's time for the weekend. Okay, hey, what do I always say, everybody? From our hearts, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. I am ready. I am ready for this weekend. It is such a beautiful Indiana summer here. The corn is high, 4th of July, right?
Knee high.
Knee high? No, actually, that's on top of my head across the street.
It is.
Okay, so, and I'm only 4'6". Okay, I'm just kidding. Hey, everybody, thank you. Have a safe weekend. We will be right back here next week. We got a really good one scheduled. I always say that, don't I? Mm-hmm. Hey, we always do. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much. And that is what we call what? A wrap. Thank you. And we have Dory from Dayton.